Malaysia recently gives nod for a second COVID-19 booster to senior citizens with comorbidities. As states like Sarawak begins its rollout today, we find out more about the effectiveness of the second booster for COVID-19 and whether we ourselves need one. Here to help us understand the matter is UM's Professor of Epidemiology and Public Health, Dr Sanjay Rampal.
So for those who are immunocompromised, I think the evidence was still out there whether a 2-dose regime was enough or even a 3-dose regime. That means a 2-dose with a booster was sufficient for immunocompromised individuals, just because their immunity took a lot longer, and because they're compromised, there's a lot more difficulty in producing the required immunity. So a second booster for those immunocompromised, I can see a benefit. I can see a benefit for the elderly, the real elderly with multimorbid conditions, meaning those who are 70 and above, with even 60 and above, if you're having multiple chronic conditions, let's say like diabetes, heart disease, cancer, you're having multiple conditions, which puts you at poorer prognostic risk. That means the prognostic, the risk of severe disease is actually higher among these groups. Because the absolute risk is higher, then you may still see some amount of good reductions in risk of severe COVID disease among this population.
Dr. Sanjay, however, highlighted how future COVID-19 booster vaccines may need to be adapted to tackle new emerging variants for better effectiveness.
Vaccine effectiveness actually decreases over time. Especially so for preventing infections and less so for severe infections. So during this Omicron wave, if you think about completing your vaccinations and having one booster, if you're taking Pfizer, Sinovac, so on and so forth, the efficacy or the effectiveness of preventing infection is only about 30 to 40%. However, the vaccines still do a very good job in preventing severe disease. So there is this issue that vaccine effectiveness wanes and decreases over time. However, frequent additional boosters using the same vaccine variants may not be the solution, right? So if you want to administer a booster, you're looking for an increase in overall population immunity, then that vaccine should actually incorporate all prevailing and circulating strains. There's even there's a lot of talk about a development of a pan-sabicovirus vaccine, a vaccine which will be the ultimate vaccine where you only need one and you will less likely need future variants, future influenced by future variants. I think if we were to wait for this pan-sabicovirus vaccine, that it might be cheaper, it may be more cost-effective in the end.
For those who do not fall into the high-risk category, Dr. Sanjay said they should make an informed decision on whether to get the second booster if it is being offered.
For those people who are not high risk, you're talking about those healthy, middle-aged individuals. I think then each of us should make an informed decision, right? That each of these vaccinations, when they get registered, typically fully registered, right? When they get fully registered, they typically are safe. Each of them have a profile of safety. We should assess the safety profile. We should assess what benefits this vaccine can give us. And then we individually make an informed decision to be vaccinated or not to be vaccinated.